Good day, everyone. I'm back for another video lecture. In this lecture, I will be discussing to you the topic data gathering instruments. Okay. Commonly, researchers use survey questionnaires to measure levels or extent of phenomenon in quantitative research. So commonly, in quantitative research, the data gathering instrument will be survey questionnaire checklists, and it will be used to measure the levels or extent of a phenomenon in quantitative research. So there are three types of survey questionnaire. So why we are focusing only on survey questionnaire or questionnaire checklist? Because in this course we will be applying quantitative research, and then commonly in quantitative research the data gathering instrument will be survey questionnaire. Kasi unlike qualitative research, there is no such thing as, yes, they might have field notes or interview guide, but the instrument himself is the researcher, but the instrument is the researcher himself. That is for quali. But um, for quantitative research, in measuring the levels or extent of phenomenon or a particular variable, researchers use survey questionnaires, or it's either in the form of questionnaire checklist or yes or no questions, diba? Basta survey questionnaires. Now, there are three types of survey questionnaire. Take note that there are three types of survey questionnaire. So we have self-constructed questionnaire, modified questionnaire, and adapted survey questionnaire. Survey questionnaires could either be yes or no type. That's what I've said kanina. Survey questionnaires could either be yes or no type. Also, we have Likert type, or containing dichotomous scales such as agree to disagree, always, sometimes, never, etc. So some survey questionnaires also use Likert type, wherein there is what we call dichotomous scales. Diba? Nakadepende pag 3-point scale, pwedeng agree, disagree, agree, strongly agree. Diba? For always, sometimes, never. That's for 3-point scale. However, if it is 5-point scale or 4-point scale, diba? For 5-point scale, dungagan, meaning strongly disagree, disagree, agree, strongly agree. That is for 4-point scale. Aside from Likert type, survey questionnaires could either be ranking, multiple, or single choice response. This may be from previous studies, di ba? This may be from previous studies, standardized test, or entirely new set of questionnaires. So questions, di ba, in the questionnaire checklist or survey questionnaire, it can be from previous studies, adapted or modified from previous studies, or it is a standardized test, di ba, standardized test, or it can be also new set of questionnaire, um, personally constructed by the researcher himself through readings. If there is a readily available questionnaire and that may be used from your research, you may adopt that questionnaire, but don't forget to cite the original authors or authors, or better yet, ask permission from the original author or authors. So if there is available questionnaire which is suitable to your research or to your study, you can adapt such questionnaire, but don't forget to cite the original author. Adapted questionnaire. Okay, the first one is adapted questionnaire. So that is what I am talking a while ago. Diba? Adapted questionnaire is an available questionnaire that you can use in your research. Diba? You can adapt it. If you're able to look for a questionnaire that is deemed suitable for your research topic or problem, which is easily accessible through books, journals, or internet, then you can utilize this as your data gathering tool. So kung kamo researcher, makakita mo og ready na nga questionnaire, well-constructed questionnaire, questionnaire of a previous research, di ba? O questionnaire of a previous study, or nakita nyo sa library, nakita nyo online, you can actually use that particular research questionnaire or survey questionnaire as your data gathering tool, provided that you have cited the original author or authors. You may proceed without changing anything. That is for adapted. Kopyahan lang nimo ang questionnaire sa previous study. You may proceed without changing anything in the material, provided that the original author already tested the tool's validity and reliability. And it is more reliable si adapted questionnaire because considering that if it is already previous research, it undergo already a peer review, di ba? Peer review. So, of course, before such research is published or bound, di ba? Book bound, it really undergoes its questionnaire under it really the questionnaire are tested, di ba, for validity and reliability. Now, example of adapted questionnaire, intercultural development inventory by Bennett and Hammer, di ba? It's already a previous research, and then you can adapt it without you can use that particular survey questionnaire without changing anything, provided that the original author already tested the validity and reliability of such questionnaire, checklist, or survey questionnaire. The next type is modified questionnaire. So, ang kalahian ni adapted and ni modified, still si modified, it is already from previous researches or previous studies. But you as a researcher, wala nimo gi-copy ang in the entire questionnaire, di ba? The entire questionnaire, but you have made some modification. You can modify a questionnaire based on two instances, di ba? You can modify it, di ba? If the context is not suitable for the current population but it can measure the problem being asked, you can modify a questionnaire. Di ba? Pwede ka maka-modify a questionnaire like namin nakita nga a questionnaire online or in the library, and then nakita ninyo nga it can measure the problem being asked in your research. However, the context is not suitable. That is why there is a need for you to modify it. Second, the items need to be further developed because they cannot completely answer the problem, but the tool is anchored from an appropriate theory or framework that is applicable for the particular study. So, na po yung mga questionnaire nga yung support siya, di ba? It is really anchored, haum siya sa imong research, sa imong study. The theory, the framework, haum siya. However, na yung mga items nga kinahanglan pa siya i-develop because it cannot completely answer the problem. That is why such questionnaire requires certain modification. The third one is self-constructed questionnaire. Diba? From the term self-constructed, it is not adapted, it is not modified, it is constructed, diba, by the researcher himself or herself. It is applicable when your topic is specific and could not be answered using readily available tools or questionnaires around. You may develop your own questionnaire. But it's not that easy, diba? In developing your own questionnaire, it requires the researcher to do further readings or thorough readings about the literature, related studies of the study conducted. However, crafting your questionnaire is a systematic process, diba? It follows a step-by-step process that needs consideration of theories and series of testing to make it standardized. So, pag self-constructed siya, di ba, it must undergo first, di ba, validity and reliability tests, and then it follows a systematic process before in crafting such questionnaire. Of course, the researcher come up with certain questionnaire through his own readings, and then such questionnaire made will undergo standardization, standardized validity and reliability, di ba? For standardization of questionnaire. Okay, the next topic is standardization of questionnaire. When can you say that? When can we ensure that a questionnaire is in standard, di ba? With high standard. Ensuring that a survey questionnaire is standardized means subjecting the tool to the process of validity and reliability testing. Diba? To ensure the standardized, to ensure that we are using a standardized questionnaire or a valid and reliable questionnaire, it must undergo, or the tool must undergo validity tests and reliability tests. Only modified and self-constructed questionnaire must undergo a standardized test, di ba? Through validity and reliability test yun naman. Kasi si adapted, you just only adapt, di ba? A questionnaire, a survey questionnaire of a previous research assumed to be and assumed to be peer reviewed, di ba? Peer reviewed by experts. However, to modify, the researchers made some modification and of course is self-constructed. It is personally constructed by the researcher himself. That is why it must undergo validity and reliability testing to ensure really whether the question is valid, whether the question is reliable, or whether the questions in the questionnaire can answer the problem or can really get the necessary data to support the claim, the claim and assumption of the study. So only modified and self-constructed questionnaire must undergo standardized test. Okay, reasons for standardization of test. Why we need to standardize the test or the questionnaire? In order to ensure validity and reliability. Yung say valid, acceptable imuhang questionnaire, walay pangutana. And it is reliable, meaning the result of whatever result of your study, nakadepende sa imuhang questionnaire. Diba? So kung imong questionnaire kay faulty, the result also will be faulty. So reliability depends on your questionnaire, di ba? We need to ensure that our questionnaire checklist survey questionnaire must be reliable enough. Okay, for validity, it aims to know if your questions are able to measure what you intend to measure. So for validity tests, it aims to know whether the questions in your questionnaire can really answer what is the questions being asked, or whether your questions can measure what you intend to measure. Reliability, if the tool does not consistently measure whatever it measures in order to show accuracy and precision across population. Diba? Kasaligan siya, reliable. If the tool does consistently measure whatever it measures in order to show accuracy and precision across population. Now, reliability test is done by pilot testing. Or reliability, it is done by pilot testing the tool to respondents having the same characteristics as intended or actual respondents. I hope you already know what is pilot testing. So, previous researches of this institution have also conducted, especially those who have crafted their self-constructed questionnaire, they have already conducted their pilot testing prior to the data gathering. Meaning, they test the reliability of certain of their own self-constructed questionnaire, modified questionnaire. So, pilot testing. It is very important. Ano naman? So, kung imong questionnaire, pag wala siya nag-undergo pilot testing, ma-question iyang reliability. Now, pag ma-question ang reliability sa imong questionnaire, ma-question po ang reliability sa imong results and findings. That is how important questionnaire is, or as the data gathering instrument is. Okay, there are types of reliability tests. We have test-retest, we have split half, we have alternate form, we have internal consistency. Now, in my previous research class, there is a group who have conducted an experimental research before. They compare the mathematics performance of the students online distance learning, and then totoo ilaha through online ang isa is through discussion. So gamit sila og split half, wherein to determine the control and experimental group. So gitunga nila ang ilang respondents. Ang isa is experimental group, ang isa kay control group. They conducted pre-test and then and various post-tests to determine the mathematics performance of the students and compare it with in traditional and in outcome-based education method. So that gamit sila og split half. So aside sa split half, apoy test-retest, alternate form, and then internal consistency. So if you have questions, class, you just comment it in the comment section. Thank you and God bless us all.